sort of an impasse at the moment. I've been making books and things, and I'll just swing the camera around and see if I can get in there. Just move my chair out of the way. Every one of the books in that case is homemade. I'm absolutely full up with books, and because of that I've stopped making books and I went on to games, and now I'm absolutely pack up full with games as well. So I've gone on to something else, and what I'm starting to think about is I love colours and things like this, and I used to do paintings as well. I haven't done that for years, but I don't do any of this for money or anything like that. And some of my games I've got down here, I've got a whole stack of games. I must have done about 50 or 60 games, I don't know how many I've done. And I've got books in the other corner, but I'm not bragging about it. It's just that I wanted to do something that was continuous. I don't mind making books, but I didn't have any end. There was nowhere to get rid of them. I don't know enough people to get rid of them to. And the games, I've got no idea who to give them to, so they'll probably go in the bin as well. And I think my daughter's had enough, and my son's certainly had enough, and my friends have certainly had enough. So now I'm going on to soap making. But soap is a little bit smaller. It is a little bit messy. You can't do it in the bedroom, I don't suppose. I mean, you've got to go into the kitchen or into the conservatory or into the garden to do it. And there are certain methods. I think there's 4 methods of doing it. There's the melt and pour process, which is the simplest one. That's for sort of me and kids. And there's the cold process, and there's a hot process, and then there's a milling process, the mill process, where you refurbish soaps. You collect all the bits and pieces, and then you reconstitute them and make fresh soaps and things out of them, and all sorts of things. And I'm learning the difference between fragrances, and I'll talk about them in a minute, but I'm learning the differences between fragrances and essential oils, and colours. I'm learning about colours as natural colours, and tea, chamomile and things like this, and there's I'm not quite sure about colour, but there's micas, which are very vibrant colours, which are not subtle, and things like this. I haven't tried any of them. I'm just I looked on YouTube and I saw one girl, I can't remember, there's so many, and they all seem to be women. There's about 2 or 3 men doing it, but the women seem to have the complete reign over this altogether. And there's some quite clever girls out there, and I got a mass of information, and I think I've gone a little bit wrong. I don't need as much as I need to do what I want to do to make soap, and I aren't quite clear. But what I'll probably do is make a proper video later on about what you need to do to make soap, minimalistic soap. If you just want to make a bar of soap, this is how you do it and all that, but I can't tell you that yet because I don't know. I've got a good idea, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I've been doing to sort of I'm just filling in, really. I mean, I don't even know if anybody's going to look at this or whatever, or I might not even put it on the net, but I've been buying things which I don't even know about, and there's one here, I've got this here, which is, I'll just turn this around so I can see what I'm looking at. This one here, and I've written on the back, it's got vanilla, sandalwood, rose garden, coconut, chocolate and fragrances. 5 is number of fragrances. And apparently I've got vanilla here, and vanilla is apparently pretty bad for, is it clouding, or you need a preservative in it when you use vanilla, because it tends to go black, I think, once it's been in. Not immediately, you can't tell immediately, but after a while it'll tend to turn the soap black if you don't use there's some things you can get like phenol-nip and Optifene and stuff like this, and other preservatives to stop it doing that, but I can't seem to find them in the UK, so I've got to be very careful about that. So I shan't be using that one on what people have been saying, that's all. And I love the smell of vanilla as well. I've got sandalwood, which I'll probably use, but the other thing I've learned as well is that I've got those are the little bottles you get, and they're in, I forget, I'm just trying to find out how much there is in this. 10 millilitres in there. Yeah, there's 10 millilitres. It's quite a substantial amount. And I bought some little pipettes, which I haven't used yet because I know I can't measure in drops, so I'm going to use that and work it out in drops. This is an eyedropper, and it's a glass one, so it should last me quite a while if I don't bang it around, which I tend not to do. And it's got a rubber head on it and things like this. But I've sent for some of the cheaper ones, which are plastic with a thing on the end, which are very long ones for dipping, getting oils and things like that. But I'll show you them when I get them. I haven't got them yet. And I've got some colouring agents, which are these rainbow soap dyes. These have got a good name, so I'm pretty thingy with these. You can mix them and mix and match. And this has got red, yellow and blue, which is sufficient for me. So I haven't even tried these, so I've got no idea what they're actually going to do. I was trying to think about what... Oh yeah, I'm talking about the soaps. I'll get to the soap in a minute. And normally when you buy soap, there are... Basically, if you're doing melt and pour, I could say things that are wrong, so don't take my words absolutely 100% for all of this, but it's only what I know at the moment. And these are Stevenson's. I bought 2 packs because it's cheaper if you buy the 2 than buying one. It's £7 per one and £12 if you get 2, I think, something like that. And this is a crystal base, and it's melt and pour, and you get 4 blocks, so you probably get 2, 4, 6, you probably get 8 bars out of each one, 8 bars of soap. There's a kilo there, which is 2.2 pounds. But the trouble is, if you want to mix colours, when you mix colours with this in, because I think the white that makes this white is titanium. It's titanium oxide, and if you mix colours with titanium oxide, it makes it muddy. So whatever colour you had is not going to be the same colour as what you think you're going to get. So it's best to have clear. So now I've sent for some clear melt and pour crystal based soap. And you add this to sort of make it opaque. So if you want a set transparency so you can see through it, and the colours, add the colours so the colours are vibrant, you need a liquid white transparent soap as opposed to this, which is non-transparent. This is opaque. So you need 2 sets of that. I haven't done anything about sodium hydroxide, which is drain cleaner. We call it drain cleaner in the UK. Sodium hydroxide is just salt really, and it's they do an electrolysis on it and you get lye, a thing called lye, I think. And it's very caustic and it burns and it gets very hot when it's put with water. And I aren't using that just yet, so I'm just talking about the things that I'm sort of buying at the moment. And I got this, which I didn't need at the moment because I don't think you need it just yet. But I thought I would need it in the thing because I'd probably go into the ifs and whats and buts. And this is what they call an infrared thermometer, and it checks everything. You hold the thing so far apart from the thingy, press the button, you put a battery in. I had more trouble getting the battery in than I did reading the instructions. And the battery's in a handle here. You pull the handle forward, the little thing there. You pull this, push it forward, and you put the battery in. And it's one of the little square batteries. The I forget what they are now. Is it 4 volts? Something like that. On this particular one, anyway. And so this, you check your body temperature and pans and meats and things. I suppose you can check everything. So that's my infrared thermometer. I suppose I would have probably been as well with a glass thermometer. And I also bought this, which is favourite. I always wanted one of these, and I found this one's pretty good. It's a Braun, and what it is, it's what I call a stick mixer, and it's got a little blade in the bottom, and you press the button at the top. It's powered. I think it's 450 watts, which is powerful enough for me. And it's got an anti-splash system at the bottom, and it comes in two halves. You put the two halves together, and it becomes quite tall. It's like sort of up here. It's quite a big thing. It's nearly about a foot high or something. But you can get hold of the end, press the green button, and off it goes, and it mixes up for you, so you don't have to do it by hand. But the things that I really needed, I didn't buy. I needed spoons, and I needed containers and stuff like that. And I haven't got all the containers I need yet. I suppose I can use these once the thing is, but I need a long container to make slab soap. So I'm going to do cold process soaps with lye, which I'll probably do later on. So that's my bits and pieces I've been buying anyway. And there's a few other things that you need. I'll probably get later on. I'll make a little video about the things that you actually need once I get more efficient and more switched on to what I'm doing. Anyway, I'll just move this out of the way. And I've got this, which is a thing that you actually do need, and it's isopropanol. I'll put the label up in front for you. Isopropanol, and what it is, it's what they call rubbing alcohol, and it's 99.9% pure, and it's quite expensive, but it should last you a long time. And I got this one. It cost me a little bit extra because I got with a little dispenser on, so I can spray it. I put this in and spray it. And I use isopropanol when I was doing my pictures as well, when I was doing things, because you put a couple of drops on with an eyedropper, and it made the paints move away from the middle of the thing, and it did unique and fantastic results. But what this does, it gets rid of the bubbles in soap. So when you spray it, it stops things sticking, etc, etc. There's lots of things, but you've got to read about it to thingy. I can't tell you everything all at once. It takes a long time to really go into all the ramifications of whatever. And I've been reading for quite a while, and I still don't know anything. And when I finish reading, I still won't know anything. But so that's what I've been buying, and that's what I got. And just get these out of the way. And although I'm not selling them, my artistic side, which I've got an artistic bent, although I'm not very good, I started to produce things. I looked on the net and I saw the girls were doing all sorts of things with boxes and things like this. And I can make boxes, but the thing is, it takes a long time, and these girls were making boxes out of a sheet of paper like this, coloured paper. So you wrap the soap up in coloured papers, and I made a little template, which is this one here, and you just put it on, and then you just measure little bits off that you want, and then you can make as many as you want. So I suppose I could put this in and then make a template on the computer, and then just bang these out in colour so that they'd come up, and then all you do is cut them. They're quite, once you've done one, it's quite easy to do 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. But they're a labour of love in any case. But these are a few that I've been doing. I just had stuff inside it. I've been a bit over the top on one or two of them, but I've got a little punch here, and I've set for another one with a scallop shape with little edges on. And this is I think this is 3/4 of an inch, and there's a little thing in the middle you can just about see there, and then there's a little scallop up the top you can do. And I've used my little label writer, Dymo label writer, which I love, and I've made a few labels, and that was one with a little ribbon on, and when you put ribbons on, just stick it to the base of the box. That's one of the girls told me this on one of the things, and it stops the ribbon moving around, then you can just tie it as you want. I haven't done any proper bows, I've just tied them and then cut them off so they look quite nice. That's probably a bit over the top. And I've been making ones out of card. This is made out of card, just ordinary card, and I buy several colours. I buy packs like this: reds, greens, blues, yellows. These are all green ones, but I like the greens. See, people seem to like greens. So these are all card, made of card, and you cut that to shape and make a box. And I've got a template for that, which I can give to people later on if they're interested or whatever. And this is just what they call a cigar band, which all you do is you cut out a piece from a paper or something like that, any kind of paper you've got. I use wallpaper and all sorts of things. I use anything that's going. And I have got some nice papers and things like that. My daughter bought me some, and I wonder what I was going to do with them. Well, now I'm going to use quite a lot, I suppose, because I'll probably be giving quite a bit of this away once I get into the thing. And these boxes are quite easy to make. The first box I made was pretty hard, but well, they're not hard. They're a bit difficult, and I can show you how to make these, but the girls show you. I mean, the girls are fantastic. I mean, on the YouTube, they're absolutely marvellous. And everything I've learnt from YouTube in any case. And this is one of the soap things that I bought. And inside it's got where you pour it's got the covering on, of course, but it's where you put the soap in. Actually put the soap in, and then when it sets, you pull this rubber thing off the outside, and you're left with a bar of soap. And that would be just big enough to fit in there. So, and I'm still waiting. I've only got one, and I'm not quite sure if I make a big pile of the stuff, which I usually do. I usually go overboard and make a big pile. So I want the moulds so that I can fill them up. So that's number 2. And this was the first one I made, which wasn't very. One of the girls showed us how to make it. You can make a little box. That's a little box which you put on, and then there's no sticky on this at all. It's not stuck together or anything. It's just I have a bit of sellotape on the corner because I broke it, because the paper wasn't very good and it split. But these are the first I've made, so I suppose I'll get better in the end. And I just put a label on the back. Once a homemade soap, and I suppose I'll get better at that as I go along and make proper labels and things. But I haven't gone into the label inside, I've just gone into the making side. And this is one where I've got one of my books inside this, and it's just a cover, and inside I've tried what they call, I'm waiting for a gun to come and some special paper, but you can do this with, it's called shrink wrapping. You can do this with oh shit. Here I go again. I should have wrote this down. It's ordinary stuff that you get for wrapping things up in the kitchen. Don't get the thick one, get the thinnest one you can buy, and then put it on, take off all the extra, and then put your heat gun on. I did this with a hairdryer, and it does work with a hairdryer, but they reckon a heat gun is best. And do the back first, then lie the back down, and then do each side, and then just a little bit on the top. And hairdryers are not hot enough really, but they do. It will work. And I could have put a label on this, but if you imagine this was a block of soap, it would stop the soap now sweating. And I'd probably have to poke a little hole so you could smell it and allow it to breathe or whatever. But that'll come later. And I'm just, at the moment, I'm just making I know all the theory behind what I need to do. It's just that I'm very hesitant about doing things when I'm never sure. And I sound as though I'm positive and everything else, but I'm not. I'm very not sure about anything at the moment. So, and the other thing that I did was, I'll just move the camera so you can see, onto the television screen. I left that on because it's always on there. I've got a book that I've printed it now. It's called the Soap Making Manual by E.G. Thompson. It's 1922, but it answered all the questions that I had. And what I've got is, I've got it, I'll just go back again. I keep flashing around, I know. I've got to remember to get back into focus again. And here I've got into my book, because initially I started off bookbinding. I learned that on YouTube. And I don't make anything, I don't buy anything that's really expensive. I've gone a bit overboard on soap making, but it's because I'm absolutely ignorant on it. And I didn't need to buy half of the things, most of the things you've got in your kitchen. But this is the book that I've just shown you on the screen, and I've yet to put my sew on it and cut the things in, and I'll stitch it up and I'm going to make a book out of it and I'm going to read it. 1922, but it's got the same fundamental things in it. It's got essential oils and things like that. It hasn't got the micas in and stuff like that, but it's got what different oils do, and mystic oils. I can't even pronounce the names, but there was an oil that I looked for that was a mystic oil, and it was on the web, but it was also in this book as well. So it's quite a good little book, and it's free. It's on the internet. It's on Gutenberg, and they've got another one on there as well. There's two of them. One's by E.G. Thompson and one's by another couple of people. One is a soap making manual, and the other one is I'll just get in there for you. Yeah, this is the Handbook of Soap Manufacture by W.H. Simmons. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. I can't see it, probably it's a bit outright. But that one's not as good, but it's pretty. It's got a lot of information, and if you get over the technical side of it, you can understand most of it. You can understand if you know if you've been looking at what the girls have been saying on the YouTube. Anyway, I'll stop there, and I don't know if anybody's interested in that. I might put it on the internet, and I might not. When I say I might do, I usually do. But I'll stop there and. So those are my super duper attempts at copying what the girls do, and I haven't done anything proper labels or anything. These are just out of me Dymo label writer. It's a 450. I've got a 450, and I can do bigger labels, so I can put the information on what I'm putting in it. Apparently I've got to put on what's in the soap and stuff like that if you give it away, or you sell it really, but people want to know what's in it even if you give it away, and I'll be giving it away, and they'll be quite chuffed about reading what's in the back, I should imagine. Or if not, they might just use it to have a bath with and then ask me for another bar. But most people don't ask me for a second go. Especially like Ted, he won't ask me for any of this. He doesn't like soap at all. And there is one thing, sodium hydroxide is what you use for making lye. And they do say that sodium hydroxide, excuse me, sodium hydroxide makes soap, and anything else makes detergent. I don't know how true that is, but anyway, I don't know much about it all yet. I'm still reading and I'm still learning, and there's so much on the net about this, it's ridiculous. There's so much information, there's too much information really. But I'm trying to do something different than what the other people are doing. I'm not trying to do the same thing, and I'm trying to find an easy peasy way of doing it, without flogging your budget, because it seems that making soap's more expensive than bloody buying it. But they do say that homemade soap is softer and better and more gentle, and better feel to it, better lather, better suds, you can control it better, it smells better, and it's not as hard. As if you wrap it. You're supposed to, really you should wrap every one you get. That one there is just a box, and I've wrapped the box up inside. But you pull the thing off and the soap will pop out. And none of the wrappings are expensive. They're all made out of one piece of paper. So it's one box for one piece of paper. And how you wrap it with a heat gun and wrapping paper and things, it's with a cellophane wrap on. I'll show you later on, but there's millions of girls doing this and they do it really, really well. Anyway, I'll stop.